Welcome, residents, to the Dr. DC podcast. My name is producer Richard, and across from me is the doctor himself.
Greetings, my lord.
Oh, thine lord. Greetings to thyself. Fortnite.
Yeah, it's floss.
I meant like...
Oh, yeah, me too. I like that you're like, I need an old word.
Thine. Majesty.
Chivalry.
Pressing women.
Easy.
What?
You say impressing women?
No, I said oppressing women.
Oh, that's worse.
It's old-timey.
Yeah, I don't know that they were...
I guess it's all-timey.
It's pretty much all time. Have you seen Barbenheimer yet?
I've seen Barb,
Right.
not in Heimer.
Right. John Jacob Barbenheimer Schmidt. Yeah, I think I'm seeing Barbie on the weekend.
My little brother's middle name is Jacob.
Okay.
And so we would walk around the house all the time going, Dylan Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Fucking nailed him.
Yeah. To the fucking
son of a bitch.
I don't know if I've talked about it. I must have talked about it somewhere on the podcast. But my other brother's name, one of my other brother's name is Robin. He listens to this podcast.
Brave, so Robin.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, there was a song that we learned in like grade 4.
Okay.
That was Robin in the rain. What a saucy fellow. Showers always make him gay.
Yeah, you can't trust kids with a song like... You can't trust kids in the 90s with a song like that.
When I can tell you I put some fucking stank on that last word.
Oh, you? You did it just now.
Stomping around the house. That was me holding back.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I really loved that in the 90s.
Sure, yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, I mean, your name's Dick.
Yeah. No one ever really brought that up until like high school, though.
Kids are idiots.
Yeah, kids are dumb.
Kids are fucking dumb.
I mean, literally the biggest insult that I got in grade school was people were like, you're brown, and that's the color of dirt and poop.
But are you?
And they said that my family lived at Byway.
I mean, that sucks to make fun of people for being poor.
Yeah, though they loved doing that.
Yeah.
Kids suck.
Were you like more visibly brown when you were a kid?
Slightly.
Oh, okay. Because you're pretty white.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty tan right now.
Well, but that's just summer. That's just a summer tan. Like look, I can see your fucking exposed thigh. I know how white you are. And I can imagine the rest.
Yeah, kids suck.
Yeah.
Thine. Fortnite.
They do not. You made it sound like that was one sentence.
Oh.
Kids suck nothing of
No,
mine.
no. I see what you're saying.
No.
That was actually fully not on purpose. But now that you say it. Each week we talk about the weird and wonderful world of DC while fielding questions from listeners like you.
From listeners like thou.
Oh my God.
Well, actually, no. You is correct.
Fuck.
You was the plural one. Thou was the singular one.
You know what I've heard is that like Shakespeare kind of like times in England, people sounded more like Bostonians. Like that was like the British accent.
So that linguistic I don't know how true that is, but there's a similar theory for French, which is that the French of the 15 and 1600s sounded more like Quebecois.
Oh no.
It's the European accents that shifted, not the North American ones.
Oh, that's interesting.
So that idea of like those kind of like Eastern American accents, New York, Boston, and are closer to what Brits sounded like.
That's fucking crazy.
And Quebecois is closer to what the French sounded like.
Wow.
And in Europe, the accent shifted.
Wonder why.
That's the general theory. Well, there is a thing called the Great Vowel Shift. I don't remember like the detail, like the why of it, but there is a documented like change in accent and stuff like that hits Europe.
Wow.
But which is why the Great Vowel Shift is why they say like pasta, not pasta, which is also why in the States, in the East Coast, they'll say pasta.
Oh. Well, there you go.
Yeah. So.
Well, then we're fucking talking about matter of Britain. It was the first time I tried that.
Okay. I can't do a Boston accent to save my life.
Yeah.
But there is a phrase that my wife and I will yell at each other sometimes.
Pack the cat to Harvard Yard.
Well, pack the cat, have it, yad.
Yeah.
Is fun to say. But there's a Eugene Merman stand-up bit where he talks about hearing someone in Portsmouth or something like that who's like, their accent is like mostly Bostonian but a little bit gay, and they just go like, I need a no, hang on, I can do it. I need a fucking windbreaker to wear my whale watch.
I mean, your wife loves doing like a Long Island-y accent anyways.
Long Island? Nope.
The Pokemon guys.
What fucking Snorlax owns this movie.
Yeah.
Does anybody out there, if you're listening, does anybody else remember this video? It's like one of my favorite.
You and your wife.
It's one of my favorite.
Constantly.
It's one of my favorite videos on the internet. It's from the early days of the internet.
Yeah.
It's like viral videos and that. But it was these guys with these accents going like, nah, bro, that's fucking Togepi. It's not fucking Egg Baby. He goes, fucking Snorlax owns in this movie. He goes, Snorlax is more like Boylax. Excuse me. He's more ripped than you. Look, he's fucking helping everybody. He's holding 10 Pokemon. You couldn't hold 10 Pokemon.
So funny.
It's like one of my favorite videos of all time.
So good. You know, what I think I very quickly have realized is that all of yours and I humor mostly comes from either John Mulaney or Middleditch and Schwartz.
There's a decent amount of that.
Like it's like to the point where like I was watching stuff and we were because I was showing my girlfriend Middleditch and Schwartz.
Yeah. Please like this. It's part of me.
Yeah. It's not part of that. Yeah. And the amount of stuff that's like literally that you and I say constantly to each other.
Wait, like what?
One,
I'll allow it.
Yeah, I'll never tell.
I'll never tell. That's true. That's true. I'll never tell.
Like the there was something from the wedding.
I totally forgot about that. I forgot about that.
There's a bunch of stuff like that, and then there's a bunch of Mulaney stuff that we do constantly.
Yeah. And it hurts my feelings.
Yes. And so she was just like, this is literally just all the stuff. I'm like, yeah, but now it's the whoopsie doopsie. Did you say something cool?
Did you at least say something cool? Said whoopsie doopsie.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's really funny.
Yeah, so we've been quoting that back and forth to each other all week. It's been fun.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a good time. So we're talking about medieval stuff, right?
Yeah, so the Matter of Britain refers to like, well, the British legendarium in general, but a lot of that is King Arthur.
Oh, fuck yeah, bro.
Oh, fuck. What is he, fucking King Arthur? His fucking round-ass table?
I do like the idea that that's the way they talk, too.
Lancelot, get the fuck over here.
Yeah, I do like that. I like that we're also as crass.
I mean, but also back then, that's even further, but like Shakespeare is like 1500s into 1600s.
Oh, sure.
King Arthur is like the 5th and 6th century.
Christ,
like,
yes.
No.
No?
No.
I don't know.
The Roman Empire, the Western Roman Empire falls in 473.
I have no fucking history,
King
bro.
Arthur is meant to be like a couple generations removed from that. So he'd be in like the 6th century, in the 500s.
Oh, sure.
AD.
Oh.
Roughly.
Yo, just see this guy fucking Jesus Christ. He fucking owns.
He ain't fucking walking on water.
Couldn't make it into a fucking Sam Adams.
All of his. I mean, there is some. Okay, we're got so many tangents already. There is something funny about how we've just agreed as a society that British accents equal historical, but only certain ones.
Yes.
Like, fucking Colin Farrell with an Irish accent and Alexander, get the fuck out.
It doesn't work.
An Irish Macedonian, you fucking stupid.
Yes.
If he had an English accent, that would be fine.
Yeah, that would be all right.
But also, if you watch like a historical thing, and
British.
someone shows up in a toga, and then they just go, "Hail Caesar!" You go, no. We definitely need an English accent.
But it's
Hail Caesar. And then if you're like a barbarian, Scottish accent. Doesn't matter if you're a Gaul or a German or a Dacian or a whatever, like a Goth. Always with a fucking like a dwarf. You got to talk like a dwarf.
Fair. I think the problem is like if you were going to try to do a Greek accent, like what would you do?
Well, I can't do a Greek
But this is what I mean. Like,
but the Greeks have an accent.
Yes, but how many like actors know the Greek accent?
But you know what the problem is no one could do a Latin accent. And also Latin, like...
Prove it.
We have an idea that Latin sounds cool or interesting. Latin sounds insane. If you pronounce it properly, Julius Caesar's
like,
name is...
Oh, you mean like not most caliente, but like actual like Latin.
Like Latin.
Sure.
The language. Not Latino.
Yeah.
Like
I get it.
No, like Julius Caesar, if I'm doing this right, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced like Julius Caesar.
Whoa.
Like Latin sounds fucking crazy.
Weird.
It's like not even close to what you think it sounds like.
Oh, now I want to fucking hear it.
Yeah.
That's... Whoa.
Yeah. Because I think when you hear Latin, a lot of times in movies and stuff now, they put a little Italian accent on it, you know?
Oh, yeah, I guess they would. Yeah, because it's like
good.
Roman.
Keep that pause in. That was fun. Good chat. All right, moving on. Guess we're done now.
Look.
That's the end of the fun facts. You know, there's got to be a way other than you just turning to your computer and typing to tell me that we're done talking about a thing.
Yeah, but I'm over it. I'm completed in the conversation.
Yeah. God, you must be fun to fuck.
Just
roll over, fall asleep.
Just wait until the double.
Okay, wait, hang on. What?
All will be explained.
Sorry, hang on. Oh, I don't like that. That sounds like a threat. At any rate, we're talking about King Arthur, like Arthurian stories, Arthurian set stuff. There's actually a decent number of characters with ties to sort of King Arthur and that sort of legend in DC.
Very cool.
So we got lots of questions.
Merlin's definitely in there.
Ugh, yeah, that asshole.
Oh, listen for more.
Oh, yeah, stay tuned.
We'll spill the tea.
For this episode.
Let's get into it. All right, we're going over to Facebook.
Going to the face in the book, going to the Facebook.
First question comes from Braden Keddy, who asks, why does Morgane Le Fay look like she's from the future? Going to the bathroom in that armor must suck.
So Morgane Le Fay
Sure.
is like a half-sibling of King Arthur. She's also like a half-sibling of... Nimue Inwundu, who ends up being Madame Xanadu.
Oh.
She is like a sorceress, a powerful sorceress, a sort of adversary of Arthur's. Pretty sure Morgane Le Fay is like either that full name or also like Morgana or something like that. They are tied to like the Arthurian legend as well. Like Mordred is Arthur's like nephew that kills him or some shit like that. Like that's part of the Arthurian legend. In DC, Morgane Le Fay wears this armor that's like all gold all the way up, including like a full gold face mask in that. So like you don't see any expression or any shit like that. I think I kind of know what you mean. It sort of looks futuristic because it's just all this kind of like shiny gold armor, but I think it's meant to be more of the time.
Sure.
But with that idea that she also used her magics, you know, like... It's got that kind of extra layer to it. It's like an enchanted armor.
But I could understand how that would look futuristic for sure.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why does she look like she's from the future? I mean, just that, I guess, just because
it's probably hard to go to the bathroom, but not because it's magic, so she can probably just be like, get off of me, armor.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you want to be that exposed, though.
In the bathroom?
Yeah. I think she makes the armor make one of... Have you seen those things where like they sell they're basically just funnels that women can
to go pee in the snow,
or so they can stand up and pee outside or at a toilet or whatever.
More than that.
I think her armor could probably do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just looks like a reverse Tin Man.
Go gadget dick funnel.
Pussy funnel.
Well, but it's like the dick. The funnel's the dick. Funnel dick, I should have said.
Yeah.
Go gadget funnel dick.
Thank you. That makes sense.
One of my favorite of his gadgets.
Yeah. It's an extendo dick.
Go gadget funnel dick. Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, next
Morgane Le Fay is in Justice League Unlimited. There's a great episode with her and Mordred where Mordred ends up like turning the world into like just being for kids. All the adults disappear, and Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern have to become kids to stop him so that they can be physically present in the world. It's a really good episode. It's fun.
Is there rabbits allowed though?
Yeah. I think the tricks are for kids. I don't know. The rabbit is for kids.
Well, no, but is the rabbit okay because it's for kids and the rabbit?
I got a
things.
theory about the tricks rabbit, that the tricks rabbit is actually an adult and he's just clued in that he can lure kids with tricks. They go like, "Hey, what are you doing with that cereal?" He goes, "The tricks are for kids."
Yeah, I'm turning tricks for kids.
Jesus Christ. Good Lord.
Next question from Matt Poulter,
Cincinnati.
who asks, how do you think these characters feel about Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
I mean, listen, it's funny in DC when they have to like reference pop culture. Like comic books sometimes do a good job of this and sometimes do not.
Yeah.
They have to reference real pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes someone says like, "Have you ever seen Die Hard?" And you go like, "Oh, they watched
Now
Die Hard too."
exists in this movie. Yeah.
I mean, and of course it does, but like it's just kind of funny. But then they also have to do the thing where in their world there also has to be fictional pop culture that they could like. They don't go watch Batman v Superman, but there are Batman comics because like, and it's funny to imagine that in a world where there's like a violent vigilante in your city, you'd be like, should we make like a bunch of kids comics about about the violent vigilante plaguing our city?
Yeah, hell yeah.
And that like that's kind of weird and funny.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like a version of that we could do here.
Yeah, like I mean, there isn't, but yeah,
like terrorist comics, like
yeah. Well, I mean.
Super Bin Laden, yeah.
Did you read Mujahideen number 312? That's fucking crazy.
Look, that's the closest we have to vigilantes. They're just called terrorists.
Jesus Christ.
Because society doesn't understand.
Yeah, I bought Al Qaeda number 50 the other day. That's so fucked up.
But also, I mean,
Jesus.
Is it that far?
It is. They're all villains.
From a certain point of view.
Good Lord. He couldn't mean Ben Laden.
Oh my.
Out across the Dune Sea? Old Ben Laden?
Osam Bin Laden?
Bin Laden, that's a name I haven't heard.
I haven't heard. And when was 2001?
Jesus Christ. What is this bit? What is this unusable bit?
That's really good.
Couldn't mean old Ben Laden.
It's so fucking good.
At any rate, all of that to say, Monty Python must canonically exist in DC.
Must it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the general supposition is that pop culture exists other than the pop culture that would directly contradict canon.
Sure.
So no one is going and watching. They don't go like, "Oh man, Christopher Reeves is Superman." Like no one says that shit.
Because I don't know if that happens in Marvel.
But there's Predator. There's what? Oh, I think it totally. I think they must.
Yeah.
I assume.
Okay.
It's just like they're probably not saying like, "Did you see the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies?"
Sure. Yeah.
But they would say like, "Have you seen Evil Dead?" You know, like Sam Raimi must exist in Marvel or something. You know what I mean? Same thing here. But what's interesting about it is that I think what's kind of fun about it is, you know, King Arthur is almost entirely legend in real life. Mm-hmm. But there is this kind of weird like ambiguity about whether or not there was a Arthur-like figure.
Yeah.
In history.
Well, wasn't there, but not like we don't know if it's like.
Well, because there's contradicting stories. You know, there's some versions like place him in Camelot in Wales.
Sure.
Some versions place it in an old Roman town called Camelodunum, which is like just north of London, basically.
Okay.
Some like. There's no one can agree on it.
Sure.
You know, there's different versions of it, but there's some idea of like some kind of like proto-English king who like kind of rallied some clans together in the wake of the collapse of the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
But how much more? Essentially like Jesus, where it's like we're not even 100% sure there was one guy called Jesus, but like there might have been, or there probably was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Arthur is even kind of slightly more mysterious than that. But it's funny that to imagine that in canon, they make a movie about the legend of King Arthur, and then like a few years later, when superheroes sort of explode on the scene and are like actually like present and popular and stuff like that, a bunch of them are just like, oh yeah, I knew him. Like Shining Knight.
Oh yeah,
Shining Knight or whatever. It's just like, oh yeah, good guy.
Yeah,
like that's kind of funny.
I do like that.
Yeah.
So they probably
they have notes. Be like, Mr. Cleese, you're the only one I can talk to about this. What's with the coconut thing? He had a horse.
But it's funnier.
Yeah.
All right. Let's leave Facebook and head on over to Twitter.
I believe you mean X.
Is that I actually didn't get that. What?
It's been rebranded.
Twitter's rebranded?
According to Elon Musk, it's now called X. They have a stupid X logo. And
so if I go to Twitter,
it's not called tweeting anymore.
Oh.
It's called Xing.
Oh.
Yep.
But then it still says sign in to Twitter.
Oh, because they can't roll things out properly for shit, because that's what happens when you fire everyone and the rest of the people there just like suck your dick and say you're a genius even though you're an idiot.
It still just is Twitter, though.
It is Twitter. I read an interesting article that basically posited that we're like 4 to 6 weeks away from a full bankruptcy filing, and that this is a move to protect the Twitter brand so it could be packaged and sold independently of whatever bankruptcy would make him do with the company.
Oh, interesting.
At any rate.
But wouldn't you have to change the actual like business filing?
I think they have.
Wow.
And it's like x.com, I think you can go to. Just single 1x.com.
That must have been porn before.
1x?
Yeah. Rated X?
Like triple X.
I mean,
I live for this shit.
Yeah, that's a movie. That's
Hell
just
yeah.
That's good. That's better than pornography.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, you know what pornography does? It starts the rise of Xander Cage.
Holy shit.
Hell yeah.
I'm in. All right.
So on X, let's go to X.
X gonna give it to us.
You called it, Chris Chan. you fucking called it. Hell yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
10 comedy points.
All right, first question from X is from Office Thon. Love that character.
Yeah.
Who asks,
They were tweets, Barry.
They were X's, Barry. I don't like it.
Yeah, see, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Change it
back.
back.
Musk, you fucking suck, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Elon bust.
I'm going to need you to like take a look in the mirror. Just like assess whether or not you're happy with where you're at.
I mean, I am, just not here.
Oh. That hurt more than I wanted to.
Don't ask questions you don't want the fucking answer to.
Well, I'd like to give you a coupon for
Yeah? Yeah?
Make me feel better.
Too bad those don't exist.
They don't.
They wouldn't ever. Office Thon asks, I have not heard all too much about from Etrigan in recent memory. What is the character currently up to? What do you think is the ideal role for him in today's DC?
Where is Etrigan currently? Did we see Etrigan at all during that Titans... Or the Nightwing arc with Neron and other demons? We might not have. Etrigan's around. He's always around. He's a demon. He's a very powerful demon. You can't really get rid of him permanently. What do you think of Etrigan? Like what's sort of like what do you think is like a good use of that character? Like a human bonded to a demon, that kind of on the side of the angels, but he's still a demon.
Yeah, is he the rhymey one?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun in like when we do like biblical type stuff because it's a demon and there's things to do with that. I think anything to do with like Fourth World, I think he fits well in that realm.
I mean, they're both Kirby creations, so you could definitely lump them in that way.
I think that works. I think that like you could tie him to somebody like like Dead Man would be fun.
Oh yeah, definitely, totally.
I think that's uses for. I don't think there's no use. I think he's like slightly like. I don't think you can ever take that character too seriously. Otherwise, it's just gonna feel 90s. But I think there's an opportunity to.
Oh, see, that's funny. See, I think you can only take the character seriously.
Oh, I think it's a more of like a fun like Plastic Man type character.
See, now that's an actual like that's a take.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'm not. I don't hate it. I think that's interesting. But yeah, I mean, to me, I think you can only take him seriously. He's a relatively powerful demon. I think. I think he's got to play a role like he's. I think you kind of have to position him as like bad Constantine. Like Constantine is like.
Sure.
A good guy who has a lot of failings and does shitty things a lot.
He's a good guy that was just following orders.
And I think Jason Blood is, you play Jason Blood the way he's always been played. He's a pretty straight-laced, very careful, kind of immortal sort of fellow. But I think Etrigan is like a bad demon who, like, in the way that Constantine stumbles and makes bad choices, Etrigan stumbles as a demon and makes good choices. Like, his self-destructive thing is doing good. Sure. Where there's like, he's still, I think at the end of the day, it's interesting when Etrigan is a little bit of an unknown quantity. I don't think it makes sense to feel like comfortable when Etrigan shows up. We shouldn't be like, great, we got this. We should be like, this might be fine. Like, sure. I think there should be a level of unease that at some point Etrigan's do-gooding like runs out, or eventually he's going to remember he's a demon, or he's going to remember that he wants something out of, like, there's always something else. Like, Etrigan was positioned as more like that in that most recent Ragman series, and I don't necessarily love that book, but I think that's interesting to take a character like Etrigan and just remind us that he's a demon. He's not always a given that he's good. Jason Blood can drag him that way, and like in the way that someone possessed by a demon will stumble and fall. I like the inverse idea that a demon can stumble and do good.
Yeah, I think we need to change the design of Etrigan then for me to take it slightly more seriously, because I think like I've never seen that design ever in a way that feels serious.
Really? Yeah. I'm going to try and pull one up here and just...
Because he's got like the red outfit with the yellow skin and like the cape or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that never felt like serious to me. It's always felt comical.
Really? Even like that?
Yeah. Maybe it's just because that outfit's so lame.
I mean, I kind of, yeah. I like it. I don't know.
It always feels like a superhero.
This is a sort of medieval one that he had.
Sure, that's better. That's definitely more serious.
That's from the Demon Knights series.
Sure, that's definitely a bit more metal for sure.
Sure.
But I want something that definitely feels like ghoulish and scary.
You want something like a little more hardcore.
Yeah, because I think like then it's like, ooh, this demon that's inside somebody, and there's more of like a juxtaposition between the two.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, with a character that like looks like that, and then inside a guy named Jason Blood, like it just feels
just like the coolest fucking name.
Feels
ever.
so fucking hilarious and lame.
Yeah. What are you talking about? I fucking love Jason Blood.
That's such a hilarious 90s name.
It is funny to imagine that he had. I mean, I think Blood is like, it becomes like, I think it's meant to be like a name he adopts.
Mr. and Mrs. Blood.
Because I don't...
Here's your son Jason.
I can't imagine in Arthurian times, his name's like, I'm Jason Blood.
Yes.
There's Lancelot of the whatever.
That was Sir Jason Blood.
Yes, Sir Percival of whatever, and Jason Blood.
And Bradley Fire.
Yeah.
Chadwick.
Yeah, Jason Blood. And this is Tad Seaman.
Here's Kyle Skull.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
It's me, Nathan Piss.
Yeah, well. Jesus Christ. I didn't laugh at your semen joke, so you had to find a way to...
I had to find a weirder one.
Yeah.
Nathan Piss.
Gotta live it up to his father, Peter Piss.
He's bonded to a demon.
Next question.
Thank God we chose that guy whose last name was Blood.
Yeah.
This could have gone horribly.
Who knows what Piss would have done. Mr. Piss was my father.
It's me, the immortal Nathan Piss.
Next question comes from our favorite religious representative,
Christian,
who asks, who can pull King Arthur's sword in the DCU? You reckon either of you could do it?
Well, there is definitively a King Arthur, so he could do it.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't fully remember what the deal is.
I think if the sword's like had enough drinks, then I could pull it.
Jesus. No, I'd probably just watch you like dance around. You want the sword to pull itself and be like, just fucking pull the sword.
Would you two just fuck already?
Yeah, I don't want to have to fucking wingman you pulling the sword.
Yeah.
It's fucking painful.
Stop fucking playing with yourself.
Jesus,
and pull the sword.
just do it already. Get to it.
Young romance.
I don't remember 100% the deal with Excalibur. Is the idea that only the person destined to be king will pull it out?
Yes.
Or is it that anyone of like honorable and true character can pull it out and then deserves to be king?
No, I thought it was the person who was intended to be king.
Like there's only one is what I mean.
Yes.
It's not just like anyone that manages to pull this out will make a fine king.
No.
It's
I
not
think it's
that.
the person
Like,
who was intended to be king.
well, then in that case, no one can pull it out except Arthur.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that's, you know, like there's no like fun to be had. It's not like Mjolnir or something, right? Where it's like if it's only meant to be the intended like destined King Arthur, then it can only be him that pulls it out. But if it's meant to be a test of character, that it responds to like a pure heart and like a true courage or whatever, that opens it up a little bit, not necessarily to us, but just generally to other people. But I'm not 100% sure that that's Excalibur's deal. I don't remember offhand, though.
Well, let me see. As the story goes, only the rightful owner of Excalibur would be able to remove it from the stone.
But what makes you the rightful
While in the
owner?
story, King Arthur is able to remove it, the one at Disneyland had been known to be impossible to remove. That is until the one guest recently gave it a shot and actually was able to remove it.
Holy shit. And he became Walt Disney?
Yeah. He had a lot of really strong opinions about the media industry.
Yeah, they like that hit him quick.
Yeah.
He was possessed by the soul of Walt Disney.
But yes, it's only King
So
Arthur.
there's a lot of black uniforms in Disneyland now.
But yeah, the only people that have wielded Excalibur were Uther, Merlin, and Arthur. Excalibur.
Right. So but Uther, I think, wielded it. Merlin put it in the stone, right?
Yes.
And then Arthur pulled it.
Yeah, it's only Arthur. So no.
So it's only Arthur. So yeah, neither of us could do it then.
No. I mean, I might be able to.
You absolutely could not.
I mean, you'd be surprised.
Sorry, we're now we're like of the like the moral fiber of our characters. The two of us, you think you're going to pull Excalibur?
First of all, nothing on here says anything about moral.
Then on what basis do you think you could pull it?
Because I tend to get what I want.
Listen, that's not a bad argument. I was shitting on it, but I don't have a good counterpoint. I guess just based on the way things go, I'll get Excalibur when you're done with it.
God, if that applies to
I just realized now
how that feels,
how that sounds.
Yeah.
And that's not how that, I just mean you find a success and you trickle it down to me.
Yeah.
It's like a Reagan
it's trickle
thing.
down success.
Yeah, trickle down Excalibnomics.
No, what happens is I get success and then I grab you and drag you to
I go, but
the
I don't
next level.
want this.
Yeah. I go, yeah, but you deserve it.
Hold the sword. You're the king now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine.
You
You're Merlin.
Oh God, I fucking am. Jesus Christ.
That's what this is.
Ugh.
You're Merlin and I'm Arthur, and I'm like, I don't really want that. And you go, and that's exactly why you should
Yeah.
have it.
God, no one else could.
Hell yeah.
The one true king.
Listen, I mean,
So I think I just talked my way into you are the one who can pull it.
it's good to be the king.
Only because I have to set it up so that you can only be the one to pull it.
Doesn't really matter how I get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, God, is there a better description of our dynamic?
Let me just set up all of the pieces.
Then you'd be like, I want to be the king, but if I'm not Merlin, no one else can.
Yeah.
You can be the king. I'll be fucking Merlin.
Yeah. You're like, but I want to be Merlin. I just want to set things up from behind.
That's going to be key to me being governor general in 30 years.
Truly. Oh my God. You're Bush and I'm fucking like Cheney.
I don't know why that had to be the dynamic.
Yeah, I'm the monster behind you.
But I should tell you not to misunderestimate me.
Holy shit. Oh my God. All right.
Mission accomplished.
Next question from Michael Benston, who asks, or Benson, who asks, which artist and writer combo would you like to see work on an Etrigan book? Ooh.
Okay, so you have your own kind of idea for what you think works for Etrigan.
Yeah.
Who do you think could bring that to life for you?
I want
I want you to go with your idea of him. Maybe we treat him a little silly.
Yeah.
It's a little silly.
Yeah.
So then who would you want to bring that to life?
I want the artist to be Michael Cho.
I mean, listen, guys, at this point, just ask Richard what he wants Michael Cho to do.
Yeah, fuck yeah. If I see him do it, I'm going to Michael blow.
Jesus.
It's good. Yeah. And I want who do I want to write? Somebody we've had on.
Like Steve Orlando?
Yeah, Steve Orlando, that's what I was thinking of.
Nice.
Yeah, Steve Orlando, Michael Cho.
I dig that.
Yeah.
I guess for my version, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's happened before. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but I like a Kelly Jones Etrigan would look so fucking metal.
Yeah.
It would look so goddamn cool. I would love a Kelly Jones art. I think, yeah, who do I want to write? Maybe like like Ram V.
Sure.
Ram V's great on the like dark magical kind of end of things. So yeah, like Ram V and Kelly Jones doing an Etrigan book, I'd be super behind that, I think.
I love that.
Yeah, I'd be into that.
You know who would be great as an artist for us is another past guest of ours.
Oh,
what's his name? Wonder Woman.
Well, what, Sharp? Liam Sharp?
Yeah, Liam Sharp, I think.
I mean, at a certain point, all these people are so talented, you can just put them with anything. But, I mean, I think Sharp's aesthetic works well with that kind of, like, if you look
fantasy type thing.
If you look at that, like, Brave and the Bold, where it was, like, Wonder Woman and Batman and, like, Irish mythology, they go to Tir na Nog and stuff like that. That's such an easy translation to Arthurian. And also, like, Liam Sharp has an image book that he wrote and did the art for that called Starhenge. That's basically like King Arthur in space.
Oh, well,
it's
there
fucking
you go.
Great. So yeah, I mean that's yeah, totally.
Yeah. All right, next question comes from Armpit Patel, who asks,
I mean, how dare you, Armpit? I'm on your side. That disgusts me, Richard.
Who asks,
I'm using your full name now.
What was Vandal Savage doing during the Arthurian times?
Oh, just like chilling.
Nice. Next question.
So Vandal Savage, for those who don't remember, Vandal Savage is a caveman. His name was Vandar Aj, and he finds this meteorite, and its radiation gives him immortality and enhanced intellect and that. And he can't die.
Yeah.
So he's lived from like whatever it is, like 60,000 years ago or some crazy shit like that. Through the ages, he has claimed to be, and may as well be, a bunch of different characters, including Julius Caesar, Genghis Khan.
Doesn't it Julius Caesar?
Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
Genghis Khan. All sorts of different kind of conquerors and that. I think he was meant to be... I don't think he was Napoleon. I think he was like adjacent to Napoleon or something like that. He's been many things in many lifetimes, but he's not always. He frequently comes back to Conqueror, but he's not always. So before the New 52, I don't think we had established firmly what he was doing during like the Dark Ages, like the fall of the Roman Empire. I think it's safe to assume that he was pursuing something else. Vandal Savage, in between bouts of being a conqueror, he has been an artist. He's been a tradesperson. He's been a merchant. He's been an explorer.
A prince, a pauper.
Well, totally. Like he's lived every life essentially at some point. So he's accumulated all these skills. So
a very particular
Julius
set of skills.
Julius Caesar is killed. What is it, like 80 years BC or something like that? The Roman Empire falls like 473 AD. Genghis Khan is like in the 1100s or something like that, 1200s.
How so there's account for race.
Yep.
Fair.
So I mean, there's a pretty significant gap in there, but not for an immortal. If he's been alive for 60,000 years, 1,000 years between being Julius Caesar, being Genghis Khan's fucking nothing. So he could have been anything. Could have been a blacksmith for a bit. Could have been a bartender for a bit. He might have been, and he could have been anywhere in the world too, right? Like I doubt he was actually in Britain. Now, in the New 52, they do change this, and we do get canonical. Where is Vandal Savage? And he is in Britain. He is part of the deep
Vandal Savage.
Yeah. Steal a sword in South Korea.
Did you watch those TikTok where it's been showing those guys sing that song?
No, but I just know that song. I fucking love that song.
Okay.
Steal the soul in South Korea.
Yeah.
Make Antarctica cry uncle.
Whoa.
The whole song is puns like that.
I love that.
From the Red Sea to Greenland, he'll be singing the blues.
Cool.
Anyway. In the New 52, definitively, Vandal Savage is in Britain during the Dark Ages, part of the Demon Knights. So this is like a sort of like, kind of like a Justice League Dark team in Arthurian times. And it's Vandal Savage, it's Madame Xanadu, it's Sir Ystin, the Shining Knight, and some other characters. They're on like magical, exploits against sorcery and things like that. Vandal Savage has also been alive for so long that sometimes he's like, I'll fight for good or whatever.
Yeah, I'll be bad, I'll be good, whatever.
Like morality means nothing to Vandal Savage at a certain point. It's just like if you live this long, you do a little bit of everything.
When did he get called Vandal Savage? Because he wasn't born.
His name was Vandar Adge.
Okay.
And then
okay, that makes more sense.
But yeah, so he's on the Demon Knights. So and that is essentially the answer now. So pre-Flashpoint, there wasn't really an answer, but now the answer is he was part of the Demon Knights during that time.
Arthurian times, yeah.
All right. He was a good guy, basically. Yeah.
Nice. Next question from Nightwing Enjoyer.
He's fine.
Yeah. Who asks, planning to read New 52 Demon Knights soon. How does this series hold up to the other stories set in Arthurian times? Anything worthwhile in it?
I think Demon Knights is a really, really fun idea. Executed fine.
Sure.
Like, it's not a bad book. If you just go in to have some fun and see some swords and magic and shit, you're gonna have a good time. But do I think it lives up to its potential? No. Because really what it could be is like, we've got the Legion 1,000 years in the future. This could be a cool Justice League Dark 1,000 years in the past. Like, in a time when magic is still kind of wild and out there and shit. Like, you could be like doing shit with that. And I feel like it never really coalesced the way I wanted it to. Like, certainly not in a way where I felt like that book could have been like ongoing. You know what I mean? Like forever.
Like, how long did it go for?
Like 20 something issues, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was like, it had its own little arc, like specific story. It never got to a point where I felt like we could finish this story and start another one and they'd have and it would feel right. Like, it was just kind of, it's fine. I think it's an idea worth returning to. Someone at some point should make a new Demon Knights series.
There's an opportunity there. Yeah.
I think there's an opportunity there, but it's fine. Go in for like the fun of it, and you'll have a fine time. It's not like super boring or anything like that. It's just it could be more.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ladies.
You'll have a super fine time. It could be more. Ladies.
Mm-hmm.
That's so sad, man. Jesus.
Look, to the bar low.
Yeah, I guess, man. God.
Who's ready to have a super fun time? All right, let's leave X. Because X gave it to us.
Yeah, it gave it to us.
Yeah. And we're heading to Threads.
Threads.
That's right. And the one question from Threads, because nobody's on there, is the real Josh Gill.
I just want people to all move to one place. Like, can we just not be on Twitter? I'm tired of signing up for things and only like some people are there sometimes.
You got to do the hard thing, which is stop asking questions on those platforms.
I mean, fine. You know what? Fine. Next week, there'll be no Twitter.
Yeah. X gone.
X gone to you.
Yeah. So get on Threads or any of the other platforms.
I'm going to demonstrate my resolve right now.
I could not care less.
No. I want you to see this.
You block it in front of me. I want to know that you've blocked it.
Ugh. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you ever text
Boom.
Twitter again, I don't want to know.
It's gone. Twitter's gone.
That's right.
Off the phone.
Wow, this is giving me a lot of those Ped Patrol videos vibes.
Ped Patrol. Ped Patrol.
Half their age and double.
Oh no, hang on. I can crack this.
Uh-huh. Ped Patrol.
Ped Patrol. Ped Patrol. To free you from your uncle.
Ped Patrol, not their age, I'm double.
Oh no. Wait, so what is the Ped Patrol doing? Are they rescuing from pedophiles or are they
They're peds.
Pedophile?
They are the peds. Okay, and they're on patrol.
Ped Patrol, we're hired by your uncle. Ped Patrol.
We're not your age, we're double.
I hate that. God. What does Josh ask on Threads?
He asks, do you think Merlin works better as a villain or a hero? Reading the recent JL Dark storyline with him as a villain was fire.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of interesting. I like the idea especially with like long-lived or immortal characters. I don't need every character to do this, but I do love just like, I've been alive so long, you people haven't learned your fucking lessons. Sure. I keep having to save you from the same goddamn shit all the time. So fuck that. Like, I do like, I'm kind of a sucker for those things. Or like I thought I left magic in the hands of people that could fucking handle it, but you hooligans, look what you've done. So yeah. Only I can be trusted with magic, and that's what's going to happen.
Come at me, bro.
You know, like, I do kind of dig that. I mean, so the Merlin currently is also like part demon.
Oh.
He has like demonic lineage, which is partly how this wasn't always the case, but it's partly how he managed the deal to bind Etrigan to Jason Blood. Jason Blood was a knight. Merlin makes a deal with Belial, the demon, and he binds Etrigan to Jason Blood.
Oh, okay.
That's Merlin who makes Etrigan, basically.
Okay.
So I mean, Merlin, even just from that, like Merlin, like, oh well, I'll get he's not summoning angels. You know what I mean? So I think there's always a little bit of darkness, and that idea of like using this kind of chaotic magic and that there's always a little bit of a cost, a little bit of a darkness, even when you're doing it for good. Mm-hmm. Even when Zatanna is doing magic for good, there's always a cost, right? Like magic has this sort of inherently kind of grimy, sneaky, almost kind of bad underbelly to it. There's very few examples of just like fully benevolent good magic with no repercussions. You know what I mean? Like magic almost bends that way. So I love the idea of someone being, if they're that powerful with magic and alive for that long, it's almost inevitable at a certain point. Dr. Fate has had, heel turns, obviously Black Adam has his shit, Merlin has, it doesn't mean they got to be bad forever, but I do like the idea of like, well, Merlin, the wizard. And then you go like, oh, he's not as helpful as we want him to be.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's fun. That works for me as a story trope. So I'm into it.
All right, we're leaving Threads and heading over to Instagram.
Now we're going to Instagram, take some questions and answer them. Yeah. Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Cool.
One question from Instagram comes from Keegan Steedman, who asks, have you read Dark Knights of Steel? What are your thoughts on their depiction of the big name leaguers? Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, but most importantly, Martian Manhunter.
Have you read Dark Knights of Steel?
I laugh because I can't not have read some of it because it fucking is in like every one of those goddamn packs of DC Comics books from Walmart.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's always like issue 2, though. Like,
yeah. It's just so fun. So I've read a couple issues. It's fine. It's just so funny. I have so many of them.
I've read some, but not all, and certainly not all of the like kind of tie-in like side things. There's some like interesting depictions of characters. So like Batman, for example, he's a knight like living under like the kingdom of hell, but we learn that he's actually Jor-El's son.
Oh,
so he and Kal-El are actually brothers.
Sure.
In that world, they have some strife and they kind of come back together. That's kind of interesting. A big reveal near the end of Dark Knights of Steel is that Alfred has been Martian Manhunter the whole time.
The fuck?
He's John Johns, but also that Lara, like Queen Lara, like Lara Lorvan, like Kal-El's mother, was a white Martian called Protex.
What are we even doing here? Fucking what?
Wonder Woman is just a princess on the island of Amazonia. Like they don't do much to change that. There is a kind of I love like put our people in this world, and I also like the idea of the history doesn't have to fucking line up. You know what I mean? Like
to a point.
But there is a weird tipping point where we start getting into like Tangent Comics territory. And Tangent Comics was like where they were like, oh, okay, this Superman's name is Harvey Dent and he's got mind powers or whatever. The Atom on this world looks like Superman and has Superman's powers. So he's go like, so we're just like,
we're just making things.
It's just
up,
jumbling names for no reason kind of thing. Like, I will say Dark Knights of Steel rides that line and doesn't always land on the right side of it.
Yes.
Some stuff I think is really kind of neat and interesting. Like, Oliver is in the woods, kind of like as the archer. That totally, like, I fucking love that. The Green Man, like Green Lantern thing is in there. The idea that Black Canary is kind of like a banshee sort of thing is sort of fun. Like there's some like fun stuff in there,
and
but at a certain
fucking bullshit.
At a certain point, like especially the Martian stuff, you go like,
why
is it? You know, like there's, I don't. It's that stuff is just they're in there just to be in there.
Sure.
But I love the idea of like there's the Kingdom of Storms and there's King Jefferson. Like that's kind of just like a neat thing. It doesn't have to be that he comes from the part of the castle no one looks at. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to 100% line up to
I've got a suit for you, sire.
Bring me the royal tailor. Lord Gamby.
Yes, sire.
Jesus God, he's so fucking boring, this guy. I mean, I in general, I think Dark Knights of Steel is fun, but it does, I think, personally, suffer a little bit from we've mashed things around so much that now the names are effectively meaningless.
Yes.
There's no real reason for this guy to be Batman. There's no real reason for this person to be a Martian Manhunter. And we kind of like, we get too far from it, I think. Like, I'm pretty sure Etrigan is bound to Ra's al Ghul. I don't even hate that necessarily, but we just go like, why? And you go, I don't know, just because it's different.
Yeah, and that's what it feels like. I think,
and sometimes that's fine, but for some reason, sometimes when you're reading that one, you just go like, it just, I don't know, it just feels like you're only, like there's not enough trust in your in your story, or like the take on the world being interesting enough that it's like we got to throw people off the scent by just hodgepodge shuffling what characters are what, so no one can guess.
Yes.
It's like, who gives a shit if they guess? Make the story good. And I think that book falls down a little bit sometimes in that particular regard.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
That's my take.
It was Hawk the whole time.
There's a little bit of that.
All right. Next question. We're leaving Instagram and heading over to Reddit.
I fucking love that you remember that, though, by the way. Can I just say that?
Yeah, all right. Hey, don't point at it.
I'm fucking proud of you, man.
I don't like this.
I love you. Where everyone's nice and no one's ever mean.
Yeah, I love you too. Is this happening?
Is this happening? Oh, it's happening.
Oh, it happened.
Oh, it's been happening.
All right. First question comes from Just Takes One Bad Day 725.
Good Lord.
We're doomed. Who asks, please explain Merlin in DC Comics. Just Googled him and it says he's part demon. Yeah, so we talked about this already.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that was always the case, but it's been established that Merlin is the child of Belial the demon, and Belial is a son of Trigon.
Sure.
So Trigon is Merlin's grandfather.
Fucking what?
Basically. Merlin, I think, is also meant to be like a half-sibling of Xanadu, who herself is a half-sibling of Morgane Le Fay. Like, they all kind of have a connection to demon things. I'm not 100% sure that I like all of that or that I even got that right. But yeah, Merlin does have like demon connections even before even if it wasn't always true of that character. Like I said, like he made a demon deal. Basically, he like went to hell and roped in a demon to bind to Jason Blood. So Merlin has always had some kind of like hell connection.
Yeah.
But it's like more explicit now that he's got like actual like demon power in him, essentially, as like a source of his magic. I'm not 100% sure I like that necessarily. I don't know that it's necessary. That feels a little bit like, you know, the Fast and Furious thing where it's like we got to tie everything back to what's already happened. It's like, I don't know we need to do
Does
that,
it? Do we?
Like, yeah, like I don't 100% subscribe to that. I don't think it breaks anything or ruins anything, but I probably would prefer if he didn't have a demonic source of his power, but he was just, you know, tapping into hell or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next question comes from Nameless Nerd Talk, who asks, take two beloved characters in DC and create your own versions of them in the world of Dark Knights of Steel. I'll go first. Mr. Terrific, but he creates Da Vinci type inventions. And yes, he still doesn't believe in magic in this version.
I mean, I love that.
So I'm going to change
it's tough in this too because a lot of characters make some kind of appearance in Dark Knights of Steel.
So I'm going to make a slight alteration to this, which is you have to make one good one and one fucking just whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I really like that Mr. Terrific pitch. I think that's great.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
It's tough. So many like the Metal Men show up in fucking Dark Knights of
Really?
Steel. Like everyone's in this fucking book.
Fucking why?
I'm not 100. I don't think like Metamorpho or Firestorm. I don't think Firestorm's been in Dark Knights of Steel. Someone might correct me there. But it might be interesting if what would my take be though? That's tough.
See, this is the problem, right?
Yeah, it's tricky. Yeah, no, not Firestorm, not Metamorpho. I'm getting further from it, I think. I think it should be. Let me think about this for a second. Do you have one? A good one or a shitty one?
Yeah, sure. It's the Flash, but he can but he's actually the Joker.
I think Luthor is the Joker in this one.
That's my good one.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. I can do this. Surely Hawkman is in Dark Knights of Steel. He must be, right? I don't remember. If he's not, I think it would be fun if he kind of had like his like reincarnation cycle was like immediate. Like he dies and then a baby is born somewhere in the kingdom.
Oh.
And then like, and the elves, like they're like, you can imagine they're like maybe a bit longer lived or whatever. They've like seen like he's seen the progression, but he only gets it in like 20-year chunks by the time he's old enough, right?
Sure.
Like, I don't know. Feels kind of shitty. What's a good maybe I truly don't know at this point. I mean some stuff feels kind of I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. I think my problem is I'm not even having an easy time of like doing the like it's Dr. Fate, but his name is Jason Blood, and he like you know what I mean? Like I can't even do like the shitty tangent thing to it. Like
yes.
I'm not really sure what to do. Firestorm is just a guy who's perpetually burning. He wanders from town to town setting fires to their crops.
Or it could be like a jester who does like the fire eating thing.
Yeah, it could. Yeah.
That could be something. The problem is I don't know enough about history because I'm like, there's got to be something there with like Calendar Man, but it's like with a different calendar. But I think
it's Calendar Man, but he can't decide on the Julian or Gregorian one. It's like, fuck, what day is it?
Which is kind of funny. I think. Yeah, that's probably an option.
No, I mean, here's what it is. He's just the guy going town to town being like, the Pope said there's a new calendar.
That's it.
That's it. Be like,
did you know
I'm
today
just
is
here to tell you about the new calendar.
Ooh, what could we do with Lobo?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, Lobo.
Is he just like a jouster?
See, the thing I can't remember too is like John Johns comes from Mars, but he's also like medieval, and I don't think it's just that he like I can't remember how he comes from Mars. Like I don't know if there's just the elves come in a spaceship. Like there is technology, but I have this impulse to make Lobo show up on a horse instead of on a dolphin. He's really what it should be instead of on a motorcycle.
Me too.
But that's not technically the case because the elves do arrive on Earth in a spaceship. But that's my impulse is to make everything like that.
Yes. You're not alone.
Yeah.
I feel the exact
like
same
Lobo
way.
should just have a big fucking sword and a mace and be riding a dolphin in. Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah. Where are your fragging wenches?
Yes, this is And then like, I don't know, Spectre's just like a wizard or something. I don't know.
Ugh, I hate that.
I know. This is why this fucking series sucks.
Here's what it is. Calendar Man shows up and says, the Pope made a new calendar. Everyone's got to change. And they go, no, we don't want to. And then the Spectre comes and wipes out their kingdom.
Boom. Problem solved.
You said what about God's new calendar? You said fucking what?
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah.
Dealt with.
There you go.
All right. Next question. Not iNoob Master 69. Nice. Who asks, as James Gunn is rolling out his cast for Superman Legacy, there seems to be a multitude of different types of characters from DC. Could this mean he tries a similar thing with his other films? If so, do you think we could possibly see Jason Blood / Etrigan in The Brave and the Bold? If so, who would you cast for either character?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I don't know that I'd commit it specifically to that movie, the Batman and Robin one.
Yeah.
But I mean, yes, I think it's safe to assume that if we're populating the world in one movie, there'll be some version of that in the other ones that are coming too, and in the shows and stuff.
Sure.
I think you're probably a lot more likely to see a character like Etrigan in something either like adjacent to Swamp Thing, because that's going to be a movie, or like Creature Commandos, the animated show, or like something like that. You're probably a lot more likely to see him there than in the Batman and Robin movie.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's no reason to think that we won't see some kind of thing like that at some point. I think in general, a Justice League Dark thing is, I mean, you're probably more likely to see a Justice League Dark form than a Justice League, or rather, you'll probably see them form in that order.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
We might see a version of a Justice League Dark before we see a gun universe Justice League. In terms of
I get that.
Their own project or their own movie. Like they might just say like, and the Justice League is like, it exists, but we might not get a movie of it before we get a Justice League Dark movie. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
Who would I want for it?
Yeah.
I think I'd want like Mads Mikkelsen to be Jason Blood.
That's so funny you said that.
Is that who you were?
I literally literally.
Hell yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Mads Mikkelsen, it would be a perfect Jason Blood. Just that kind of like quiet, stern kind of demeanor, like a guy who's seen it all, you know.
But
and then who do you have for Etrigan? Ron Perlman. It's obvious.
I mean,
that feels obvious.
It's definitely not a bad choice.
Yeah, I'm sticking with that. Mads Mikkelsen and Ron Perlman.
Okay, I'm gonna go Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen would be fucking good too. Oh shit, he'd be good,
right?
Yeah.
And Javier Bardem.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
like a real Spanish demon.
Yeah. I think that would be fucking dope.
Hell yeah, I'm into both of those. Viggo Mortensen's a solid pick. I like it.
I thought you might,
but only if he's his character from Green Book. Hey, it's me, Jason Blood.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Got this fucking Justice League Dark. Are we even allowed to say that anymore?
Yeah, don't you fucking talk about Etrigan like that. That's my demon.
I don't think we should call it Justice League Dark. I think maybe we could call it Justice League African American or something.
Yeah. Then we're not offending nobody.
It's me, the white guy who stopped racism.
Yeah, some might call
Give me my Oscar.
Some people might call me a savior who happens to be white.
Yeah, well, you know.
These things sometimes come together.
If the shoe fits.
Put it on a sandwich.
What's my favorite movie? The Help.
Savior.
Ugh.
All right, next question.
Fucking Green Book. God, that movie.
Next question from Daspel23, who asks, I know that Etrigan is connected to Arthurian legend, but why did he appear in that one issue of Sandman, and why does he always rhyme?
So, again, like I said, Jason Blood is like an Arthurian knight, and Merlin, to save his life, binds him to a demon. It's also to stop something else from happening. He needs the demon power, but it basically curses Jason Blood to live forever, and he has to share his soul with a demon, basically. And when he does the transformation, he always says this rhyme, gone, O form of man, arise the demon Etrigan.
Mm-hmm.
And then Etrigan appears. And through Etrigan's history, he's sometimes rhymed and he sometimes doesn't. But it's basically established that a rhyming demon is a certain rank of demon. And Etrigan at his kind of level of... It's funny, like the really powerful demons don't rhyme. But Etrigan isn't like in charge of hell. He's like a high-ranking like demon.
Sure.
He gets to rhyme.
So it's like a thing you get to do.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. It's always funny watching writers like bend over back. Sometimes they give up on the syllables thing. They just go like, whatever, just to make a rhyme.
Sure.
Or they'll be like, Etrigan will be sitting there and he'll be like, goose, heron, blue jay, duck.
Tired of rhyming. I don't give a fuck.
This is now how Etrigan, and then someone interrupts him.
Oh,
this is how Etrigan. Okay,
yeah.
sorry. Over to my house. They kind of like that's. They do that shit sometimes in the comics and that.
That's funny. I like that.
I'm pretty sure when he shows up in Sandman, he's guiding Morpheus through hell. I think that's when Morpheus goes to hell to get his helmet back.
Oh, interesting.
And Etrigan guides him to the gates or through the gates of hell to Lucifer to get his helmet back. Because, he's a demon. He just fucking chills there. When he's not being summoned by Jason Blood, he's just
a demon in
hell.
Yeah.
Like he's got demon jobs to do, I guess. Yeah, I work in demon sanitation.
Yeah. Just get rid of the trash, if you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anywho.
All right.
But yeah, the rhyming is meant to denote demon rank. But that don't look too deep into that logic because it doesn't
show up very often.
It doesn't work. But I think you could also probably count on one or two hands the number of demons not Etrigan that rhyme.
Well,
it's very few.
Yes.
Yeah. It kind of feels like they played a trick on Etrigan.
No, it's
like,
because
listen, you got a lot of responsibilities now. And one of them is rhyming. He's like, I will not let you down, sir. I swear to fucking God, I'm gonna nail these goddamn rhymes.
Yeah, now go get the bacon stretcher from the other restaurant.
The what?
The bacon. It was a thing that we used to do to like new employees at restaurants I would work at.
A bacon stretcher?
Yeah, especially when we worked at the mall, because you'd be like, oh, go to the restaurant on the other side of the mall, ask them for the bacon stretcher, especially like co-op students and stuff.
And then they just look like an idiot asking for a tool that doesn't exist.
Everybody laughed at me. Or then you ask them to bag the ice. You go, take all these 100 Ziploc bags. You need to bag the ice.
That's kind of mean. I like it.
Yeah. And then you go up and you go, what happened to the bags of ice? And they're like, what do you mean? I did it. And they go, looks like you bagged water. And then they look next to them and it's all melted. It's fun. Yeah. The flour cutter, that's another one.
Baking flour.
Yeah. You need to get the special knife to cut flour.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, how dumb are these people?
Dumb enough to do that.
Jesus.
Dumb enough to get tricked.
Yeah, that's...
You get what you deserve.
Yeah. You get what you fucking deserve. Yeah.
Yeah, classic. The bacon stretcher
what do
is
you
a classic
get
one.
when you send someone across the mall to ask for the bacon stretcher and they get laughed at? You get what you fucking deserve.
Yeah. It was a great time. Sending kids to Boston Pizza a lot. It was great.
Nice. Do you ever send them to Bazongas?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Usually it was when I was at Bazongas that we were sending people places. But when I was at the Keg, we would send people to Bazongas.
Yeah. One day we're going to open Bazongas.
I really hope so.
Our high-class Hooters.
/ comic book store.
/ comic book store.
That's how we're retiring.
Yeah. / water park.
Fuck. I mean, obviously.
It's Bazongas.
It writes itself.
Yeah. What's classier than a water park?
Hooters.
Who wants to eat a big plate of fucking spaghetti bolagnese and then go down the Dipsy Doodle slide
while holding comic books? Best day ever.
Yay, dive into a pool of the finest marinara.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's how you make it work. The water park is sauces.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Sauces are the park.
Yeah, the hard part is that it's boiling hot sauce. Yeah. All right. let's leave Reddit and head on over to the Discord.
Oh, shit. Fuck.
The Docscord.
Suddenly Docscord.
Oh, wow.
Is doxing
a week at a time.
Scored.
Yeah. Suddenly Docscord.
I have it in my head now that at some point in my life, I want to be Audrey too.
Oh.
I want to be the plant.
Sure.
Yeah.
Does the plant sing?
Are you fucking kidding me? The plant has like 3 huge songs.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while since I've seen that.
It has the big song from Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
Just feed me.
Oh, yeah.
Does the plant sing? That's like the point of the musical. It's a talking, singing plant.
First question from the Docscord.
Feed me.
Yeah, you're born to play the part.
Fuck you. But also.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Must be blood.
Docscord, first question. Q Continuum Consort.
Okay.
Who asks, in DC, is strange women lying in ponds distributing swords a good basis for a system of government? Can supreme executive power derive from some aquatic ceremony?
That's a Monty Python reference. It's from Holy Grail. I'm your king. I didn't vote for you. You don't vote for a king. I thought we were an autonomous collective.
I do. That's like the very beginning of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been years since I watched that. Yeah.
Do you know what? When the first time I saw Monty Python and the Holy Grail, I thought I got like a bum videotape from the store.
Oh.
Because it ends with them getting arrested by the cops and the tape cuts out.
Oh, yeah.
The tape goes like, and I was like, well, what the fuck happens next?
That's funny.
And I thought I just got a bad tape. And I went, returned it, and like rented a new one. And I was like, oh, no, that's just how the movie ends. All right.
Yeah, then I got this Mel Brooks movie, and then they like stopped making that movie and made another movie in the end.
Yeah. What's this French mistake thing? Yeah.
All right. Next question from Commodore Multi Sanchez.
All right.
Who asks, which characters started in Arthurian times and is still around in the present?
So there's quite a few. We've named a couple of them. So Jason Blood, Etrigan,
Absolutely.
still there. Vandal Savage was around. Okay, first of all, I'm going to split this up a little bit. There's a ton of characters that have been around from before Arthurian times and are still around. They made it through Arthurian times, including Vandal Savage, Dr. Fate, there's a bunch of sort of immortal characters that have made it through. But then there's also characters like Jason Blood Etrigan, who are made immortal or whatever. Madame Xanadu, who was formerly named Nimue. She's the sister of the Lady in the Lake. So the lady to bring it back to the previous question, the Lady in the Lake who, bestows Excalibur or whatever, that's tied up in all of that too. So Madame Xanadu is connected to her. She's like part of like part kind of fae folk sort of thing. Madame Xanadu still exists in the modern age. She's the tarot card reading, future telling, extremely powerful sorceress in DC.
Yeah.
So powerful that during Day of Vengeance, when the Spectre is trying to wipe out magic, when he tries to take the three most powerful magic users off the board first, he goes after Phantom Stranger, Dr. Fate, and Madame Xanadu. That's how powerful she is.
Wow.
There's Shining Knight. So the original version of Shining Knight, Sir Justin.
It goes great with Jason Blood.
Yeah. Sir Justin of Timberlake.
Yeah.
You can hear him coming on the paddle. Instead of the clip clop, you hear that stupid fucking beatbox shit. Justin
I'm bringing
Timberlake does.
knighthood back.
Yeah.
Those other knights don't know how to
future knight love pounds. Nope. Anyway, the original Shining Knight, Sir Justin, was a mortal knight that Merlin bestows magical armor to. And the armor is invulnerable, provides like all that kind of like durability and invulnerability and stuff like that. A sword that can never break and stuff or something like that. And a Pegasus named Winged Victory.
Nice.
Sir Justin ends up like Captain America, like frozen in ice, and then thawed out in the modern age or some shit like that. In the late mid-2000s, Morrison revamps the idea of Sir Justin, creates essentially what becomes the current version, Sir Yistin. And Sir Yistin is like a kind of gender fluid knight who is themselves.
Morrison created that?
Who is themselves immortal.
Yeah.
So Sir Justin wasn't immortal. He just had these like magic artifacts and stuff and had ended up in modern era.
Sure.
Sir Yistin is immortal and it has to protect the Grail and like I like some kind of thing like that.
What have you?
So Shining Knight is another Arthurian
we love it.
Adjacent character. So what do we have there? We've got Etrigan, we've got Madame Xanadu, we got Shining Knight. Merlin, obviously still around, just fought the Justice League Dark not all that long ago.
Etrigan.
I just said that.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably one I'm forgetting, but those are sort of the big ones that are like explicitly like kind of Arthurian characters who end up in the modern age. I love Shining Knight. I think Shining Knight's such a cool idea, like just basically just transplanted knight, just a knight in modern times, and I really, really love that. A knight with a magic fucking sword or some shit like that. Like, that's fun shit, and I kind of wish there was more Shining Knight stories.
What is it, Camelot 3000 or whatever?
Well, Camelot 3000 is its own thing too, yeah, which is just like it's just like again like a future space love sounds of
wow, you fucking made it.
Of King Arthur. I'm back, baby.
Yeah.
You think I was gonna let that? I was gonna fix it.
Yeah.
I did this. I have to fix it.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's it. So yeah, that's totally in there too. Shining Knight is part of Morrison's Seven Soldiers, and that Seven Soldiers book is really neat. And then Shining Knight's part of the Demon Knights. If you're looking for places to read Shining Knight, the original Shining Knight, Sir Justin, was part of the Seven Soldiers of Victory. Mm-hmm. That was the team that had Green Arrow and Speedy, Crimson Avenger, Star Spangled Kid, Stripesy, Vigilante, and Shining Knight.
Sure.
So Seven Soldiers of Victory. There's a kind of I think Shining Knight is in Stargirl in the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's past where I watched.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Shining Knight's in there. Yeah, cool stuff.
All right. Next question comes from Drago of the Black Rose.
That's a good, like, Arthurian kind of fucking name.
Fucking right.
Hell yeah.
Who asks, is there any medieval worlds left in the current multiverse? I don't recall ever seeing any in the big multiverse events, or seeing like a medieval representative in like the Justice League Incarnate.
So you're right about Justice League Incarnate. The closest they got was having Atomic Knight Batman from Earth 17, where he sort of is armored up and would ride like a giant mutant Dalmatian. But,
okay, yes.
But that's like, it's not like full medieval. It's like Jack Kirby riffing on shit, you know. So you get Atomic Knight Batman for a bit on Justice League Incarnate, which is the Justice League of the multiverse. Dark Knights of Steel that we've been talking about has an Earth designation that I can't remember what it is, but they announced it in what's it called? Dark Crisis Big Bang lists a bunch of like the contemporary Earth designations. I can't remember what Dark Knights of Steel ends up being, but it technically Earth 118. Earth 118 is Dark Knights of Steel. So it does have a specific place in the multiverse. It exists. So that is one. There's, it's an infinite multiverse again. So there's infinite medieval Earths there that we just haven't discovered or given numbers to, but there is that specific one.
Nice.
Earth 118.
Next question from JK, who asks, do you prefer the original Shining Knight, Justin, or the Morrison revamp, Yistin?
I think the Morrison revamp is more layered and more interesting. But the pitch for the original one is so simple. It's so kind of clean. The Morrison one is like a more rendered character. There's a lot more going on with Sir Yistin, and it feels a lot more magical even. But the original one is just like, I was a knight, I have a magic sword, I was frozen in ice, and now I'm in. Like, it's the Crocodile Dundee like thing of like, oh, it's so different, like
it's fun.
The fish out of water thing's really kind of cool, and it's such a good, like, I love the pairing of Shining Knight and Vigilante. Like, Vigilante, a guy that dresses like a cowboy, and Shining Knight, like, they're both out of time kind of versions of heroes. And
I don't always think more complicated is more better. Like,
I don't necessarily think it's more accessible.
Yeah.
I think Sir Yistin has the potential to be more interesting, but Sir Justin is just such like a simple pitch. So if
he's a basic pitch.
He's a basic pitch. if I'm being honest, I probably enjoyed reading Sir Justin as a character a little bit more.
Yeah.
And part of that is just the simplicity thing. Like, this is kind of a bad thing in a way, but like, I don't really worry about Sir Justin's like motivate. I just go like, what would a night be like?
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of nice sometimes to just have things you can count on, where it's, you just want someone to say like, yield, foul beast, kind of like, like there's something kind of just fun and cartoony about that. Certainly how they play Sir Justin on Justice League Unlimited, and he's got a couple of great episodes in there. His big episode is called Patriot Day, and we got a version of the Seven Soldiers in that one, and Shining Knight is really like the standout in that episode. It's a really good one. Sir Yistin, I think, has only been wrapped up in either really kind of like weird magic medieval stories or things written by Morrison. And so I don't know that Sir Yistin's really had the opportunity to just do like regular stories.
Sure, yeah.
I think if we give Sir Yistin a few more just like where is Shining Knight like now? Mm-hmm. Like Shining Knight stops a bank robbery in Madrid or something. If we give Sir Yistin a little bit more of that shit, I don't think it takes long to really forget about Sir Justin. But because right now there's a literature Shining Knight and there's a fun superhero Shining Knight, and never the twain shall meet. And that's how it feels right now, I think, and possibly to the detriment of Sir Yistin. Sir Yistin's a better character, more interesting, but just hasn't had like a real punchy adventure.
Yeah.
And I think you need to balance those things, right? Like, we all know that there's like, Swamp Thing has this very literary, but like Swamp Thing also like shows up and makes trees grow out of bad guy. Like, there's punchy elements, like you need a little bit of both. We can't just be a lowest common denominator superhero thing. We need some elevation sometimes, but the opposite is also true. And right now, those characters exist in separate worlds.
Sorry, we need some what?
Elevation. Woohoo!
Okay, but answer
from the fucking Tomb Raider soundtrack.
Okay, but answer the question, you fucking coward.
I think I did.
No, you didn't.
What
you were like Shining Knight. Like you.
What was the question?
Which ones do you prefer?
I said I think I've enjoyed reading Sir Justin more. I said that.
No, but you were like, I think this is a better character.
Sir Justin is a better character, but I've enjoyed Sir Justin more.
So Sir Justin's better.
That's not what I said. It's the opposite of what I said.
Last question.
This isn't a difficult thing to understand. It's like Citizen Kane is a better movie, but I like watching The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
So what you're saying is it's a better movie.
You're so fucking reductive.
If you enjoy something more than you think it's better.
No. I mean, God, definitively no, I hope. Jesus. God, the world in your head
works quite well.
I love that you're in charge of the fucking news, Mr. Black and White over here. Great.
And red all over.
Well, if that were the case, then I think you'd be in a better position.
All right. Fuck you.
I think the problem is the newspaper's not red all over. What's black and white? End of joke.
Yeah, black and white and red occasionally.
Yeah. And red when bored.
Yeah. The Yukon News. God, I might need to cut that out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you named it specifically.
Next question. The last question comes from...
Oh, man, I love a careful Richard. That's so fucking funny to me.
I mean, how careful am I really, man?
I mean, careful enough.
Yeah, sure. I always cover my tracks.
Oh, my God.
Last question comes from Holodeck Janitor Butt.
It's the worst job.
Yeah. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
Who asks, has Constance...
I just don't want to be on shift after Riker's been in there.
Or
at all on DS9.
I mean, fuck.
I'm not cleaning out those fucking hollow suites.
No. Or Stump.
Bunch of fucking Nausicaans went up there. Ugh.
Has Constantine had dealings with any Arthurian characters besides Merlin?
Oh my God, all of them. Yeah, I mean, Constantine and Madame Xanadu have a whole kind of thing in history. Constantine and Etrigan. I think at different times Constantine has fucked with Jason Blood. Like,
that's fun.
Like Jason Blood's like, I'm not gonna let the demon out. I can't help you. And Constantine goes like, well, little magic spell, boom, and like makes him transform.
Oh.
Like he's done that shit. Actually, I mean, Shining Knight's probably the one on the outside of that.
Oh wow.
Or the most on the outside of that. Yeah, no, Constantine is totally. All magic roads tend to lead back to like Constantine, Zatanna, Dr. Fate, basically.
Sure.
So there's a good chance that if you're around long enough and you deal in magic, you will cross paths with one of those three characters.
Sure.
So yes.
Dope. All right. Well,
sorry. I should also mention Constantine himself has some demon blood in him, or he did. I think it's been burned out of him now. But that was partly where he got some of his power from for a while, with some demon blood. So, I mean, I don't think it was specifically a demon connected to Etrigan or connected to Merlin or Belial or whatever. But like, they all kind of have this weird like brotherhood of demon powers sort of things a little bit too. Yeah.
Well, that was the last question.
All right.
We would love to hear from you residents. Why don't you send in a question for next week's episode?
Oh, I haven't decided what that is.
Well, when that does, you can...
Large ladies. No.
It's coming one of these days.
Listen. No, do you know what? Let's just open it up. Let's do giant size episode.
Sure.
About giant size characters.
All
and
right.
giant size powers.
Yeah.
So from Giganta to Elastowoman to like whatever, like Colossal Boy or like something.
Wow.
Back to Giganta again. Back to Giganta again.
Yeah. Big Barda. Yeah.
But I mean like giant size characters like Atom Smasher and
Sure.
Giganta.
Sure.
Yeah. Elastowoman. Need I say more?
Other large women.
Yeah.
Characters.
End of list. Yeah. Let's do a giant size episode next week.
A big bitch episode.
And we will call the episode Big Bitches. And the only reason I'm comfortable doing that is because we will also be talking about not just women characters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If we...
Oh, I wanted to call it like a giant sized oh well.
You fucked yourself now.
Giant sized big bitch. No. That's going to fuck the SEO in a way I'm not comfortable with.
It'll get too close to the real.
Yeah. But it's our most downloaded episode.
Worth it.
Yeah. But we got a lot of like complaints.
It's weird. They also just started it and then immediately stopped.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because they didn't like it or just because they were done with it.
Or they got what they needed.
Yeah. All right. Well, you can ask those questions through our various social media platforms.
Yeah. Dr. DC Podcasts on Facebook, Threads, Instagram,
X. No
X.
longer. X gone to it.
Or at Dr. DC on TikTok.
Yeah.
Reddit, Dr_DC, r/Dr_DC is our subreddit. You can send us an email, drdcpodcast@gmail.com. Got a website, drdcpodcast.com or .ca. You can call it in, baby, 208-917-3238.
You can go to our TikTok.
I already said it. Fucking pay attention.
Give us a 5-star review on whatever platform you listen to the podcast, and we'll read it on a future episode of the show. That hasn't happened in a while. You should do that.
Sorry, you not paying attention hasn't happened in a while.
No,
it's happened
no.
3 times this episode.
Someone giving us a 5-star review.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, that.
I wonder why they're not giving us a 5-star review. Could it be that the host isn't paying attention even?
I've been doing that since day one.
I wonder why we're not getting
been the whole-
reviews coming in.
That's like a huge tenet of this podcast. It's a basic underlying foundational piece of this podcast.
This is why we're doing Dairy Dogmas. So I can punish you.
It's not going to be good for you.
It'll be fine.
I
It'll
mean,
be like doing any other episode. I got to fill all the fucking...
It also won't be any better for your stomach than anything else is.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not about whether it's good for me. It's whether it'll hurt you.
Isn't that the fucking truth?
And I mean, as far as dairy goes, it can't do anything to me that is not doing way worse to you.
I mean, yeah.
If anything, I just won't like shit for a week or something.
That's already what it happens.
Another week.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
That you can't be good. Like that,
I've never got, well,
oh no.
I have not for a while gone that long.
You have, if the fact that you ever have is absurd.
Yeah. Like years ago, though.
That's not okay.
It's fine, I'm sure. I'm here, so...
the problem is we're both on either side of the spectrum, so who knows?
Yeah, you're like, I shit 6 times a day. Is that good?
Like, I ship once a year. Is that fine?
Yeah, I build it all up, and then I lose 120 pounds all at once.
I mean, that is somehow how you lose weight sometimes.
Also, fuck you.
That is kind of how you lose weight. You just show up one day, and I'm like, what happened to you? And you're like, I decided to walk.
Yeah, I moved.
Yeah, it's like it all is gone.
My pants fit again.
It's insane. It's frustrating as hell. I know your wife is.
How do you think I feel? Because it also goes the other way. As soon as I stop moving, it's like instant 30 pounds. Right back up.
But it's not from movement. It's just you changing your diet slightly.
I don't want to. I just want to.
I know, there's the truth.
I'd rather not.
Fair. Who's to say?
It's the motto on the Vanier family crest.
Yeah. If you want to know more about our dietary preferences, well, we're coming up to Eat Guest,
Holy
baby.
shit. Eat Guest is next week.
Yeah, and we are prepared.
Yeah. We do have a cool idea for Eat Guest. We're going to take you on a tour of Fandom Eats.
That's right.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure how we're going to manage this.
But we're going to.
But we're going to figure it out.
Right?
Yeah.
Subscribe to our Patreon to find out.
Yeah.
At patreon.com.
Oh, sorry.
There's a $1, $5, and $7 level. Each level gives you access to the Discord. The $5 will give you a bonus episode once a week. The $7 will give you access to extra content beyond that. Sometimes the Doctor's doing a mini-series on Fast and the Furious, or now 25 weeks of 007, baby.
Yeah, bonding time.
That's
the
right.
series I'm doing with my wife.
That's right. There's also like a backlog of like video content that you can subscribe
There's old
to.
prescribed reading things. We're talking about comic books and stuff like that. There's lots of fun stuff and theme polls, and it helps to support us.
Yeah. Speaking of us, we've got a whole other podcast.
Ghostfacers, a Supernatural rewatch. We're going through every single episode of the CW Supernatural. We're most of the way through season 7 right now. We talk about real world monster lore, behind the scenes stuff about the show. That's a great time. And if you're a fan of us here or on Ghostfacers and you want to like meet us and you're anywhere close to Toronto at the end of August
and are normal.
Yeah, specifically if it's normal.
Yes.
It'll be normal for us to be at Fan Expo Toronto August 24th to the 27th. We'll be at the Canadian Podcast Awards booth periodically and possibly doing some other stuff there. We'll give you an update when we have a fuller schedule.
Reed will do signings. I'm undecided.
Yeah, I'll only sign bazongas though.
Hell yeah.
That's in my rider.
And by that he means on the side of the buildings of Moxie's.
Yeah, I go to Moxie's and I sign bazongas.
Yes. That's the
On
only
the
thing
side,
he'll like.
But yeah, come meet us. Check us out.
Yeah, do that.
Come check us out.
Let's get into it.
We'll have a hotel room booked.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Do we?
No, I will.
Okay.
Hey, and if there's a sock on the door, it means that's where I left my sock.
There's a couple double trees in there. You know what I mean?
You got a couple of double D.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't say double trees. We say a double D.
Double D's hotel. That's a Jane and Finch.
There's no way we haven't been the first person to make that joke. That'd be the Jane and Finch thing, probably.
The Jane and Finch thing,
yeah.
we definitely are, yeah.
But the double D's thing.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess that's it for this episode.
Ciao.
Adios.
All the superheroes, they always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure, they are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.